Welcome back.
Yes. Just might miss.
History in the making from the making of this third. I guess it's welcome back to these words.
So I'ma come well like welcome backwards for sure.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Thorn City Syndicate Spotlight Show. I'm your host, the Thorn City Syndicate Podcast Guy. No, Thorn City Podcast Guy. And we got Third Twin in the building today. How we doing, brother?
Man, I'm still doing well, man. This is crazy.
This is a trip, man.
I like it.
It trips me out that I really have this studio here on Burnside.
Man.
With my business partner, Justin.
But I didn't mean to cut you off, but you don't know how many calls I get. Like when people come here and work.
People come here, they call you afterwards?
Yeah, or I'll see them and they'll be so impressed.
Really?
Yeah, or the you brought some of my family members here and they got a chance to see it.
Check it out,
but I'm talking about tons of calls.
Yeah.
Like, man, I'll run into somebody and they'll be like, bro, I didn't know he had it like that. Yeah, it's tight.
Yeah, it's
tight up here.
It's super tight, man.
Yeah.
I'm really like what we got going on here, and it's really time for us to level up. And so that's why I'm here doing the Spotlight Show, you know? So let's get into your early childhood and journey to recovery. Mm-hmm. Any challenging circumstances? Talk a little bit about when your life took the dark turn and you became addicted and, you know, in a sense being your own best customer.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Well, it's a trip talking to you because you were there the whole time, right? But I often talk about knowing what I know now, Naeem, it happened a long time ago. Mm-hmm. I'm genetically pre-exposed to this. Mm-hmm. You know, both my parents were heroin addicts, and when I speak in the recovery world, I say my first rehab was the incubator that I spent the first 6 months of my life in. You know what I mean? And so early off, I think now when I look back on weed, all that stuff, my body couldn't. I was addicted back then. I was grooming myself to be an addict. I had addict behaviors, is what we call it. I was obsessive and compulsive over it, and so I think what we know and what I've learned is that it's a progressive disease, and so you know, after some traumatic events in my life, Chris early off started some me internalizing, abusing marijuana, alcohol. You get what I'm saying? Losing my brother to overdose to pills. We used to do pills together. Was probably the deepest, darkest moment of my life, followed by losing granddaddy, auntie, and then my mom. You know what I mean? Which ultimately just made me spiral into a dark place. Damn. It was just a lot, man. The world was changing. You know what I mean? Life, some stuff with my son. You know my situation. You know all that stuff played a part. It was like I said, it was a perfect storm of things happening to where I was trying to hold on. You know what I mean? And because I was talented, because I had you guys, and we still had women and stuff like that. My disease didn't get as bad as it could have got. And so I had some things instilled in me. You know what I mean? To where it wouldn't get that bad. But I think just life, man, and being a product of addicts really made me abuse drugs the way I did. You know,
well, I'm proud of you, brother.
Oh, thank you.
You know, when we started doing the music, that's all I wanted was my friend back.
I know.
You know, I mean, I wanted us to blow up and get rich and get a record contract and all that, but that wasn't why I did it.
I know.
You know,
we talk about it now.
Yeah,
yeah.
I just wanted I wanted my own album.
Yeah, right.
I wanted the album,
and we did that.
We did that.
You can't take that from us, man.
And nobody ever has to hear it, but it was.
But us.
It was for me.
It was for
But they gonna hear it because we got the documentary coming. We got the documentary coming. We did put out the EP.
We put out the EP.
So y'all go check it out. It's on all the streaming platforms. If you ain't heard it yet, it's the Honesty EP. It comes with a award-winning music video.
It does, and it's an album of substance. Like
it is.
When I listen to it, and then the Nas's of the world and what they're doing, I'm like, I appreciate the album more. You know what I mean? And not only did I make it, and it's hard for me to listen to because I'm in a different place now. Yeah. But it's an album of substance that I'm really proud of. I'm proud that we did that.
It's real, and it's poetry at its finest.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really
so
is.
let's talk a little about recovery and the role it played in providing structure to you to get your life back on track and your decision to seek help through the 12-step program.
Right. Well, it started with honesty. and we talked about it earlier, going through that process, and shooting a documentary, and really listening to honesty and where I was at, and seeing you guys investing so much in me, really wanted, I wanted to make some changes. You know what I mean? And then I was able to see the music video, and for those who have seen it or who haven't had a chance to experience it, it showcases some dark moments, some things that I realistically were going through, whether I wanted to admit it or not.
Yeah.
They did a good job of capturing that. And so for me to have to see that on screen and recognize that I wrote those lyrics because I was in a place, it really gave me the strength to change my life. And so recovery for me has given me a chance to go back and deal with some of those issues we just talked about, why I was an addict, and ultimately give me freedom. And I found myself, I feel like I'm 15 again, bro. You know what I mean? Like
Started all over,
bro. I found, the high school Lil Roy, the things, different things that made me special outside of just spitting lyrics. You know what I mean? And it's amazing, man, because now I'm achieving things I never thought I could or would.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is crazy to me.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the journey of being in recovery to you becoming the director of the community care team at POIC. And a little bit about what do you do over there?
Well, it's crazy because they say we have a saying in recovery that lost dreams are awoken and new dreams are found. And through recovery, I was able to work on myself. And so what happens is you change like some ideologies, you know what I mean? And what happens is they say there's only one thing you got to change, and that's everything in order to stay clean. And so during that process, I was able to get a job giving back. And I never knew that I would be just as passionate about giving back to my community as I was for music. And so through this journey, I was able to realize that, man, the same way I spit a metaphor and I get the crowd's reaction and they like, ooh, it's the same feeling I get when I show up to the hospital and there's somebody bleeding on the bed after being shot, and I walk in the room and they're like, Lil Roy?
Yeah.
And then I'm able to help them. It's crazy. I never thought I would be doing that, but also have the passion to do it. So I ended up becoming a street level gang outreach worker, was in the streets. We come from that. We come from that background, and we've been through some stuff. So while I was doing that, my life was threatened because, we all got backgrounds. And so my organization had the foresight to get me off the streets because during the time it was a street war going on, and they thought it wasn't safe for me. So I ended up landing in the mayor's office, right?
Crazy.
Why they put a guy like me in the mayor's office, right?
Yeah.
I started really getting busy, ended up becoming the supervisor, used my rap, my presence and my charisma to do a lot of presentations, rub shoulders with the right people, and I just kind of shot up the ladder. And now, I'm the director of the community care team, and, I traveled the nation for this work. I started off with supervising a staff of 4. Now I got 32 staff that I oversee. I think I had one contract. Now I oversee $15 million worth of budget. And it's crazy, right?
That's crazy.
Crazy. Ex-gang member, drug addict. I sit with the U.S. attorneys, attorney generals around the nation. We talk about what I do, and I'm trusted with building this program, and I've done a great job.
Great job. You've been down to the state capitol quite a bit now too, huh?
Yeah, I go down, man.
What are you doing at the capitol?
Man, so
what are you doing at the
what
capitol?
am I doing at that's the best question. I don't know. No, what I realized, Daniel, is that my pain earned me a seat at that table. And if we as people, if we as the community ain't got a seat at that table, then we're probably on the menu. You know what I mean? So what I do is I go there and I represent. Yeah. And what I've learned is a lot of times I'm the smartest person in the room. Believe it or not.
Believe it or not.
For real. And so policies around gun violence, it's a hot topic. I'm what you call a content expert now because of evidence-based best practices that I do, to where I educate them on gun violence and how to support communities suffering from gun violence.
Yeah, that's a trip. You'd be surprised how much knowledge you learn in the streets. And that's why some of the best business people come from the streets, and they made it out because they got a different type of hustle, and they got a different type of understanding on how to make things work. So if you can succeed in the streets, you can succeed in the business
anywhere.
Yeah. But you got to make it out. Not everybody makes it out.
And you helped me make it out, man.
Oh man,
You did that.
hey, I couldn't let it happen.
I know, man. That's
You
crazy.
know, it wasn't going down like that.
Like, I don't think that, like, you made sure I had a cell phone.
Well, yeah, we had to make sure we get to the shows.
We had to get to the shows. Man, thank you so much.
Yeah,
everything
y'all,
you did for
man.
me, man.
Oh man, it was
My
my
son
pleasure.
thanks you. My family thanks you. Just thank you, man.
How my godson doing? Grown?
Grown, man. Your godson.
My godson. What's up, Lil Roy? I'm sure you'll see this.
Shouts out to Quattro.
Lil Roy.
Yeah, if y'all know Quattro, young Quattro. Yeah.
That's crazy. But man, I'm loving this spotlight show, man. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna take a break here, and when we come back, we're gonna get into a little bit more about your impact in healing and the role you play in healing in the community.
Okay.
Man, life is hard, man. God bless the child that can hold his own. I came from nothing, I'm just trying to make something. Against the gun, just trying to feed my son. Swallow my pride, I'm just trying to stay alive. From falling back to pushing a hard line, I did what I had to, and honestly I was glad to, cause I'ma do whatever it takes to add to my quality of life. Growing up it was tough, the youngest of 4 children, both parents fucked up. I wonder if God forgives the drug affected kids. Heroin stuck in my veins from my mama's syringe, and did some things that I truly regret. Walking the streets with my head barely attached to my neck, flirting with death, and though my footsteps made a mess, if my heart stops now, shit, I did my best. Cause after Pops left, it was hard to stay focused. Switching to different school, another eviction notice. The streets caught my attention, wanna see what that's about. It's hard to finish your homework when electricity is out, so I jumped off the porch head first on the avenue. A brave little boy that's doing what he had to do. Damn. I came from nothing, I'm just trying to make something. Against the gun, just trying to feed my son. Swallow my pride, I'm just trying to stay alive. From falling back to pushing a hard line. Now the age of 21, she pregnant with a son. It's gut check time, gotta provide bar none. And gotta do the right thing for shorty, so that means no more getting high, drinking 40s, jump back on his feet and got a J.O.B. He bought a car in a 1-bedroom apartment in Southeast. He's stepping up to the plate, cause he's far from a deadbeat, but that don't stop him and her from beefing like red meat. The trials and tribs of kids having kids, what was love is now resentment for all that wrong shit he did. Her parents just left down South Tennessee, and now every time they fight, she threatens him with leaving. As fate would have it, that would come true, cause when you left on vacay, that's when she left you. Now your son's out of state, and the pain just aches, and it's gonna cost at least $1,000 for you to see him face to face. So now it's fucking 9 to 5, it's time to get that pay. Cause though time flies by, still time don't wait. But no man, so no man has no time to waste. Can't slack or fall back, you gotta pick up the pace. And though I fall from an angel, and I made my mistakes, I die before I let another man take my place. It's my job to protect and look after you, so just know your dad did what he had to do. I love you, son. I came from nothing, I'm just trying to make something. Against the gun, just trying to feed my son. Swallow my pride, I'm just trying to stay alive. From falling back to pushing a hard line. What man? What power? Hoodoo. 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 You remind me of a man.